Hi everyone, Kevin Muldoon here. As you can see, I'm back with my first generation Asus Zenwatch. Now this watch uses Android Wear, which is Google's mobile operating system platform for Android smartwatches. It's used in watches such as the Moto 360 and the LG Urbane. I think there's about 6 or 7 watches out at the moment, and we're going to see a lot more in 2016 because we're starting to see a lot more developed by Chinese companies such as Elephone. Now I've been using this for about 4 or 5 days. I've been using it every single day, so I do have a good understanding now of how it all works and how to use Android Wear. Now this will be the same for all the Android watches out there. You know, it's the same operating system, so disregard the fact this is an Asus Zenwatch. If you're looking for an Android smartwatch, then this is what you're going to be looking at. So I'll just quickly walk you through all the kind of features of this particular smartwatch and of Android Wear in general. Now firstly, you can see there that it woke up there. Now see if you can see it's going back to sleep there, but see if the screen's been shown. I can put my hand over and it vibrates and it goes back down, so you can switch off. You can put it in sleep mode and then you'll use less battery by doing that. But from the main clock face, you can see here, you pull down and you'll see a notification menu. Now I've got notifications on all at the moment, but you've got none, no, alarms won't even be displayed, priority and all. Now what I've been doing is, if I'm at home, I generally just turn off notifications because there's no need for me to actually view notifications through my smartwatch while I'm at home. You know, if I'm sitting with my phone right next to me, then I don't need notifications. Priority seems to be the best one to do, the best one to use, because I think with all, I seem to get a lot more notifications that just aren't just really, they're not useful to me. For example, you'll get a notification from Battery Doctor telling you to close apps, and it's like, I don't need that when I'm walking around. So when I'm at home, I switch notifications off and just use it as a watch, but when I'm out and about, I generally just switch it to priority. You can see here, there's other items here, and if you switch to the right, you've got cinema mode. Now if you put on cinema mode, all it will do, it will just turn the screen off. And you can see there, turn it back on just quickly. Click it. So you've also got a brightness mode. You can turn the brightness on up to max. And then you've got settings. Now you can access the settings from another screen as well. Now you've got adjust brightness. It's been a little bit fidgety. Yeah. You know, I'm finding that there. This is something, whenever I use this, I normally always use my thumb. But when I'm sitting behind the camera here, I'm trying to use this finger and it doesn't seem to be as responsive as normal. I find that you get a lot better feedback if you're using your thumb like this. So you've got change watch face there. You can do that from the front screen as well. You've got font size. I've kept mine on large normally. Oh, I did a factory reset yesterday, which is why that was back to normal. You've got Bluetooth devices. You've got always on screen. Now I've generally just keeping it on all the time. If you turn that off, then the screen will just go black and it will switch off until you switch it back on. For some of you that might be useful, but I really do find it. I find it really handy to have the time shown at all times, because I'm using it as a watch as well. But if you're only going to be using it as notifications and you want to check for notifications, then what you can do is always on screen will go off. And I think what happens is, you know, when this goes off, look, there's no time. So before, the way I have it on, I always have always on. I always have the screen always on so that I can still see this time. And you can see it comes back up. Now, if you do want to change battery though, to conserve battery, sorry, then that is something you might want to consider. But for me, I've found that I just prefer having the screen on. Now, wrist gestures, I can talk about that later on, but I've switched them off because it's another thing that I don't think I need, and it's something that it can burn up battery as well. Not a lot, but it's just something, because I don't use it, there's no need for me to keep it activated. And wrist gestures is the idea is that, you know, there's sensors on the watch, and so if you're reading notifications, you would do this. and it would flick through the notifications. Personally, I just don't see the benefit of it really. Maybe I've not really got used to it yet. I don't know. I just feel it's easier just to use my finger and swipe down rather than like to use the wrist gestures. But I'll come back to that in a second. I'll give it a try. We've got airplane mode, accessibility, large font, magnification gestures. Right, there's a screen lock, so you can put on a pattern. You know, just like as in your just like on your Android phone. There's a factory reset. You can restart the watch. You can power off, and there's about. Now you can just turn off this particular watch. There's a power button at the bottom, so that's another option. And just quickly talk about here. You can see here it is the Zenwatch, and so there it is. I think in the video yesterday I said I was using Android Wear 1.4, but it looks like I'm using 1.3 in this one. So I'm not sure if Asus has released an update yet. I believe I'm going to have to update this. System updates. I'm scared to touch this now in case it... Alright, says I'm up to date. I was scared I was going to do an update there in the middle of this video. Okay, right, I'll just get back to this screen gestures, wrist gestures thing. Okay, so I'll turn it on. So, I've got it here. Now, before, as I said, you can go from your notifications and things like that at the top. From the bottom is where you get your messages. Now you can see here, it's nearly 12:15 in the afternoon, 10th of December, and I've got an email from Amazon, or a message from Amazon saying they're going to deliver in an hour. Now, from here you can click on it to read, and then you can kind of swipe right to dismiss it. But I believe that you're supposed to do it that. See, like it disappeared there. If you've got a lot of messages, you can scroll through pages by doing that. So that's the only really notification I've got at the moment. Now you can see there. If I go right, I've got an option to open the phone, and then there's an option to block the app. Now that's something that's quite useful if there's certain apps you just don't want to be opened on this, you know, and that's something that I really like, is that the fact that you can control what gets opened on your phone and what doesn't. But if you just swipe it there, it's dismissed. I've got a message there that PayPal was installed. I'm just swiping there. Okay, this is the little thing about the wrist gestures. So here we go. Right, so you can see here, flick your wrist away from you and then slowly back. Right, you can see that. Can you see that? How that's? So you do that. See that? Now, some of you might be looking at and thinking, you know, that's really useful. That is exactly what I'm looking for. But you know, I'm really not. I just don't see me using that when I'm out, you know, because I think for me, the way that I'm going to be using this watch is when I'm at home, it's just a watch. It's just something to tell me the time. But when I'm out and about, you know, it's just a quick way for me to check notifications from my phone without having to actually go into my pocket, lift it out, unlock the phone, etc. And I don't see myself in public, you know, sitting going like this, reading things. I would just rather just swipe it. It just seems more practical to me. So, as you can see, you pull down, you've got your notifications and your settings, etc. And when you pull up, any updates or notifications that you've got, you'll get them from the bottom. But when you swipe from the right here, you can see you've got all your apps are listed here. And swipe again, I've got friends, contacts and things, and here you've got a lot of really useful options. Now, you've got Google Now at the top. This watch has, or it's actually activated there. This watch has a speaker. Sorry, it doesn't have a speaker, but it has a microphone. So, what that means is basically I can do voice commands, but I'm not going to be able to play music. So, if I go back here just now, Okay, so I could do, I'm trying to think what I could do. It's listening to me. Oh, it's now playing a random, I don't even know whose song that is. Right. So, right, okay, I'll try that. I'll try and open an alarm. Okay, Google. Swipe now. You can tell that I've not been using this particular app. How it blocked me. Right, now it's searching my email when I do that. Okay, Google. Right, so it sounds like, right, okay, right, it looks like when I go there and that's highlighted, I just talk. I don't need to actually do anything. Text Dad. Ah, that's quite cool. You can improve content. Okay, Google needs to use your device contacts. Open alarm. Yep, I mean, it seems to work really well. You can tell right away I've not been using the voice recognition to do anything. But my friend has the Moto 360 and he was talking to me about it, and he says that when he's driving, he'll just say, okay, Google, and then he'll say, like, text, you know, text someone, I'll be there at 7, and it sends a text message. So that is functionality that is there, but it's functionality that I've not actually had to use yet. Perhaps because I picked this up on Saturday, we're now on Thursday, and you know I've not been out on big nights out of that since then. I've just been working and training. So okay, so you can see here, right? So you've got the list of the apps here. You've got the contacts, and you've got lots of little handy notes here. Take a note, drink more water, remind me to go for a run, show me my heart rate, send a text, email, start stopwatch. It's kind of quick, it's kind of shortcuts to things that you might use a lot. Now as far as it's been tracking my steps even though I didn't really want to track my steps, and the heart rate, this doesn't actually have a heart rate monitor, but it comes with Fit and Wellness, 2 apps, and then when you click on them, there's an option to test your heart rate, but I think they just use your fingers on the screen, so I don't know how accurate that would be. Let's say it's marking my, it's been tracking my steps and things. Yeah, it said yesterday I did 1,729 steps. I didn't even know that was tracking yesterday. To be honest, this is something I want to switch off because it's not something I use frequently. So as you can see, there's a lot of apps here, and there's a lot of apps I've not used yet. When it comes to the applications, you know, there's a lot of the applications on your phone which will be installed from the beginning, and there's a lot of ones that they'll install for you. Now, for example, BBC News, that was installed on my phone, and there's an Android Wear version of it. Calculator is one that I actually installed from the App Store. So there's a lot of Android Wear specific applications that you'll find on the Play Store. And if I bring up my watch, right, okay. If you go back to the Android Wear application, you'll see there's a lot of apps, etc. that it recommends. But if you don't see any there, then just go into the Google Play Store and just search for Android Wear. You'll find thousands of them. There's a lot of applications. You know, like I downloaded Flopsy Droid. You know, it's just a silly little game, and I can't see me playing this a lot. You know, it's really just, I thought I'll try it out just to see what it was like. And it's high score 1 point. That'll give you an explanation of how often I've been playing this. Basically, I think that's the second time I've tried it since installing it. Google Maps is something that I haven't tested yet, but I have seen videos of it. And this is something that I think I'll really find useful from time to time. The idea is you've got your phone in your pocket, and you know, you're walking around in town, you try to find a building, you know, for an interview or go to a certain shop, and you'll just use the Google Maps on your phone, so you don't have to walk about with your phone holding your phone like that. You can just look at your watch and it'll tell you step-by-step directions. It's called Skype. Play music is something I've actually found very, very useful so far. You know, when I've been driving, I sometimes use Google Play Music. Now, I've got an old BMW from 2004 and it uses an old tape deck. So I've got the tape deck with the audio cord coming out, and I just plug it into my smartphone. And you can see there, you know, Daft Punk was playing last time. The problem is when I'm driving, it's not safe for me to go over, unlock my screen, or even operate my phone when I'm driving. You know, you do lose your eyesight from the road a little bit, and it's not safe. So what I found is with this, whilst that music is playing, I can go into Google Music and I can modify tracks, etc. I'll see if I can show you that just now. So I'm playing music now on my phone, and when you scroll up, kind of from the notification area, you'll see the track being played. And then when you scroll to the right, you'll see it's like a little remote control that allows you to change tracks. So you can see here how quickly it responds to changing tracks. I can put the volume up. And just change it over like that. It works really well. As I said, I've been using it pretty much every day now when I've been driving, so it really works as good as you can expect. The one thing I would say is when you're going back to the application list, when you choose it from here, you get two different options. You get an option to play on phone and play on Wear. Now, I've not tested play on Wear. This device doesn't actually have a speaker. When you choose to play on Wear, you're attempting to connect to a Bluetooth headset, you know, and play it through your running earphones or whatever. What I've noticed though is when you choose to play on phone, now look here, you can see that Daft Punk is playing, and then when I go to play on phone, you know, it's just playing. You hear that? I can still change the track, etc., but for some reason it's opened up Spanish lessons. Now, I don't actually have Spanish lessons on Google Music. So obviously coming from a Spanish application that I've downloaded a couple of years ago or something, and it's downloading it from that. Why that is being opened up, I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't open up to some sort of library window that shows all your music. I'm not sure yet, but hopefully that's something that's going to be addressed in a future version, and they'll rectify that. But it's not a big issue for me, because what I do is I just go through into my library. You know, I'll just go through and I'll go to the track that I want. I'll go to the album that I want. I'll start playing it, and I'll get that done just now. And then when that's playing, then I go back to the remote control. So that's how I've been using it, but I don't know why when you actually go to open it up, it doesn't seem to work very well. So that's something to note just now, but hopefully they will fix that in the future. But okay, just to go through it all again. From the top, you get your notifications. You've got various settings at the top, and you've got your settings menu. From the bottom, you can see it says to play music. I don't want to. There's no other notifications. And when you scroll from right to left, you've got a list of the applications, you've got your contacts you can send a text message to, and you've got things like showing your heart rate. This was the thing I tried to do earlier, and it's not working. Now, there's some little things that I found as well, like, for example, see with WhatsApp, this will show me WhatsApp messages, right? But look at that, it's just when I'm unresponsive. This will show me WhatsApp messages, but I can't actually open up WhatsApp on Android Wear. Now, this could be the fault of WhatsApp, or it could be the fault of Android Wear, I'm not sure. But like, if I send, like, there's my little brother, right? I've got an option to send a text or call. Now, when you go to send a text, what I really like is that you can speak and just send a text message, but there's a lot of kind of pre-made messages to save you time, because obviously you're sending this from a watch, you know, you're not going to be sitting trying to type on it. It's bad enough trying to type on a smartphone, never mind trying to do it on a watch, but it's only got like 320 pixels. So there's a lot of pre-made messages, and there's actually one there that said this is for my watch. One of the cool ones here is you can draw like emoticons. So, you know, I can just do a little smiley face and then go like that, and look, and it gives me the options, and that will send, when I click there, that will actually send the emoticon. Right, okay, bird. So now you can see here, it's actually, I'll try and stop that. I was going to just send a little bird to my brother. So that's something that's actually quite useful. The one thing I'd like that to have is WhatsApp, because I use WhatsApp for messaging, you know, 9 times out of 10. I very rarely send texts anymore. It's always WhatsApp. Now, as I noted earlier on as well, through the settings menu you can change the watch face. Now the other option to do that is just when you're on the home screen, just hold it and it'll vibrate, and then you're going to have lots of options to change to a different watch screen. Now the ones available they'll depend on the smartwatch that you've got. You know, a lot of these are provided by Asus themselves. You can see like there's a digital one. You can show as much or as little information as you want. You know, that one, it was showing steps and calories and battery life and the date and things like that. And you can change it if there's a watch face there, and you can see there's a little setting menu, settings menu down the bottom here. Normally that means that you can change the colour. But yeah, you can see there, look, colour theme. So I can change the colour there. Now, you saw earlier on, you know, I've been using this one master. You saw that earlier on that when I tried to show you how Google Play worked, it wasn't really working well. And I have found a little, you know, there's little things like that which are, you know, they have been kind of playing up. Now, if you see here, what I've decided to do is I've got 85% for the watch. So that's the watch battery on the left hand side, and on the right hand side is my phone battery, and underneath is the date. Now that's basically all the information I need. I really don't need to, you know, you can add things like weather, you can add, you know, steps, calories and all that kind of thing, but for me personally, I don't need that information. I want, you know, I want to see how much batteries in the phone and the watch. Now, Asus provide an application, you can see it here, Zenwatch Manager, I think it's called. Now, this is a fantastic little application. You can see there at the top, it's connected. There's various tools, etc. You know, you can remote call. You can find your watch and it'll vibrate. You can use your watch as a flashlight, as a compass, SOS, and there's features like that as well. Now, it says here there's 54 watch faces from Asus. Now, when you go to the customize tool, this is something that's really cool. You can see here that I've got the phone battery and the watch battery, and that's all coming from this. It says that I can pick 3 items. I've only got 2 selected. Now, the reason I've only got 2 selected just now is that I found that if I had to pick something else, for example, okay, that one's asked me to install something. Trying to think. Daily steps. Alright, that's needing to install as well. What would I need to install? Second time zone. Right. One of the reasons I don't like that is when it places the third item and it places it over the date. So that's not something I want. So what I've been doing is just keeping the watch battery and the phone. But you can see here, there's fitness related items, and there's weather related items, and there's productivity related items. I've found that personally that's not how I'm going to be using this watch, but I do appreciate that a lot of other people are going to find that incredibly useful. One thing though, again, talking about the gremlins, you can see here, you know, I've got the phone battery. So 85%, if you can see that, 85% watch battery, which is correct, and then it says that my phone battery is 18%. Now, I'm not sure if it showed earlier on, but earlier on it didn't actually say 18%, it said about 78% there. I found that happens sometimes. Now, if you switch your watch off, or you switch your phone off, and that, although they're still connected, that information seems to, it doesn't sync correctly initially. So there's a very good chance that if you switch your watch off at some point, you could be an hour or two before that information about the phone battery is, you know, it's actually displayed. Now that's information I think is actually quite useful. You can just look at your watch and go, oh, okay, like my phone only has 30% left, I better switch it off or put on power mode or something. But for some reason that doesn't seem to update. So a lot of the time, you know, I've been using my phone and I've had this watch switched off. I turn the watch back on and it's still saying that my phone has 100% when it only has 50 or 40 or something. So I think that's more of an issue of syncing more than anything else. There's a lot of other little features on this that are really cool that I've not really been using, but there's an option, for example, that you can use your smartwatch to unlock your smartphone. So if you've got your watch on you, you can automatically unlock your smartphone. Now there obviously are downsides to that because the Bluetooth range is like 5 meters. You could be standing over the other side of a room and then your friends can open your phone, play a joke on you or something like that. But it is a useful feature. So as you can see here, there's a lot of good features on this. I've found myself like just using it as a watch and then just scrolling up for notifications and things like that, and then just using things like Google Play Music when I need to. You know, I'm not looking for excuses to use this. I'm not using this as a main device. This is simply used to complement my smartphone, and it's just it really does complement it. Now, I only paid £115 for this. You can get it for £150 generally in the UK, and you can get like the Sony Smartwatch 3 for about £100. I believe in America, you know, things are only about $100 for these kind of smartwatches. You know, it's a lot cheaper. Generally though, I'm very, very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. There's a lot of bugs to be worked out, but I do still feel that we're in the beginning of Android's kind of... We're in the beginning of Android Wear's lifespan, if you will. And if you go back years ago, Android was the same. The first couple of years with Android, I had one of the first Android phones and it was pretty terrible, if I remember. You know, the operating system couldn't keep up with the specs that the phone had. So there's a lot of things I've not touched upon, but I know this has been a long video. I hope those of you who have been want to see how this all works have found this useful. If there's anything I've missed, please do leave a comment below. I'll try and touch upon it. Anything that I've missed in the comment area below. Or if I need to, I'll do another video for you all. But I will say, after 4 or 5 days, I'm very happy with it. It doesn't work all the time, you know, there's a few little gremlins in there. The one thing that I really don't like so far is the syncing issue. Now, this is the one big problem that I've run into, you know, like, I don't mind little problems with the bugs and things like that because those are going to be ironed out. And I've actually not had a problem with Google Play Music whilst I've been using it in the car. So that is one of the things I really loved about this, because when I've been driving, I've just been skipping tracks, but you know, just been putting it on and just skipping tracks, but going left and right on my wrist. But the one thing I've found is the syncing thing. Now, this is an area they really need to fix. Now, there was one day when I first saw this problem with the battery notification not being correct, I couldn't get it fixed, and it went about 3 or 4 hours with this not showing the correct percentage. So I assumed it was a syncing issue. So what did I do? I went onto my Asus Zenwatch and I unpaired the watch. Now here's the thing: if you unpair your smartphone and your smartwatch, there's no going back. You don't just connect them back up. The only way to fix that is to actually do a factory reset and then set everything back up again, and that is a severe pain in the ass. Now, I saw some people saying this online, just do a factory reset, just do a factory reset, and I found a page on Google and it actually tells you, no, if you've unpaired your smartwatch and your smartphone, you need to do a factory reset. Now that's something they really need to fix, because it's very easy for things to get unpaired. You know, if this watch gets unpaired with my phone, then I don't want to have to set everything up again. That is a real pain in the ass. So they need to fix that. That's something they really need to address. I'm hoping that that's something that's going to get fixed in a future version of Android Wear. as I noted earlier on, I'm using Android Wear 1.3, but Android Wear 1.4 is actually out, so I'm going to have to update this somehow. I'm surprised it hasn't updated already. That could be because I've not actually did whatever the update process is. I don't think that is though, because when you click on this, it does say that it's up to date. But that is something I'm going to have to address, because I think a lot of the things I've been talking about, they might have been addressed in 1.4. But as soon as far as it goes just now, there are a couple of little gremlins in the system, but they are working on it. You know, 1.4 came out in November. It might only be out in America at the moment when I think about it. But 1.5, you know, they're already talking about features that are going to be in 1.5. So I can say with confidence, Android Wear is going to get better and better and better. And we're going to see a lot more developers, you know, a lot more companies releasing phones for it. We're going to see a lot more developers adding apps for it when it becomes more common as well, because there's going to be more users. So again, if you've got any questions about any of this, please do leave a comment below. I'm going to do my best to answer them all, or at least point you in the right direction. And if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider liking the video or clicking subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, take care. Cheers.